electric.
Hi everyone, welcome back for an update video. I'm back home in the Mini Electric and I thought it's time now to update you on the result of the race that I had with Susan between the EGolf and the Mini, heading up to Croxton Kerrial from Norwich, Norfolk. And the idea was Tortoise and Hare race. Susan would set off a bit later than me and she'd put her foot down, zoom up the dual carriageways to King's Lynn, charge if she felt like she needed to have a charge, and I would head off a little bit earlier, take the back roads, go a bit quieter and a bit slower, and take my time. The idea is I'd get better efficiency, I wouldn't have to charge. She would obviously go faster, probably catch me up at some point, but would she charge, wouldn't she charge, and what would be the impact of that charge? Anyway, the race was great fun. That was the key thing for us. We were doing it for a bit of fun, but also because we wanted to know which of these two cars was the best to take for this sort of journey, and what type of driving is best. We do sort of believe that going slower is actually better, but sometimes you just have to do these things to try it, don't you, and see what's going to work out how. So it's exactly what happened. I don't know exactly what time Susan left because I didn't have a video on her, I didn't have an image showing exactly when she left, but I think it was about quarter of an hour difference. So I left quarter of an hour early, I took a slower route, 1 mile longer, and the King's Lynn stop where she was probably going to charge was 54 miles. So I drove 54 miles slowly. To start with, I had some GPS set up on the car to try and track where she was, and I couldn't see where she was. It wasn't updating. So I actually pulled over at a place called, I think it was Litcham. Life 360, isn't this amazing? This shows Susan is en route. She's well past Dereham on the A47. So, Life 360's updated, Glimpse hasn't, and Google hasn't. I hate these applications where they don't quite work. In fact, I don't know if you can see that there. We're actually level. I'm here, Susan's over here. We're actually level. She's about to overtake me. Now Susan's updated on the map. You can actually see her. She's at Swaffham. Level with us. I'm at Litcham. So I'm the little blue dot above, and she's below. Aha, here we are.
Hello, sweetie angel.
Hello, my sweetness. Glimpse isn't working. It shows you're still at home, so that hasn't worked.
Oh, that's a bummer then.
Yeah, but Google Maps is showing you at Swaffham.
I am.
Ah. Yes. I am absolutely level with you at Litcham, just on the other road.
Oh, isn't it? Well, you see, isn't this interesting? Because we were stuck behind a lorry, and I was horrified because I was only 3.5 at the time. I've now been stuck behind a lorry, and then even in Francham, it was a 40, and it went, and we only did more than 30.
Yeah. I'm
now up to 4.1.
Wow, so that's the difference of you putting your foot down then.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's just on to 95 miles range.
Wow, wow.
And it started off at 173.
You're down to 95 miles range. Wow. Let's take a moment to take that in. So Susan set off with an indicated 171, 173 mile range because our previous driving had been very economical around the city centre. But driving faster, her actual miles per kilowatt hour was dropping quite a lot, down to 3.5 and 4.1. So her actual range was now only showing 95, from 171 to 95, and she'd only done about 45 miles. Compared to me in the Mini, setting off with an indicated range of 117, looking like I'm not even going to make it there, but as I'm driving more economically, the range is actually improving. So our indicated ranges look completely different. So the first section, the first 54 miles, she made up nearly quarter of an hour, or a good quarter of an hour on me by me going the slower route. But her miles per kilowatt hour were only 4.1, whereas mine were about 5. 5 miles per kilowatt hour times my battery size gives me a range of 144, 145 miles. I knew I had 123 miles to do that day, so 20 miles contingency. So a little bit tight, but it was going to be okay. By going slower, by going economically, I didn't need a charge, and I knew that I could get to my destination, which had a destination charger. Susan, on the other hand, with 4.1 miles per kilowatt hour, times the 32 kilowatt hours in the EGolf, is only 120 something miles potential. So if all she could do was 120 something, and she had 123 to do, it gave you no confidence or whatever to push on. So she stopped to have a charge. The odd thing is, though, that as I was reaching King's Lynn, I was actually stuck behind some bad traffic. I was stuck behind a tractor, and I was stuck behind a holiday site caravan, a 3-bedroom home on a truck being escorted, and nothing was being allowed to overtake it. Right on a corner? Oh no, you are kidding me. No. Why didn't I shoot ahead? You could have bloody waited. Because he hasn't even got wing mirrors sticking out that you can see. Oh, look at that. Susan is there. She is almost charging. I can see she's almost at the charger. So she has not just overtaken us, she's well ahead. Because of the traffic lights, because of following this, and it's just a faster road. That's what we like with the Mini performance. One squirt and you've gone. So I was stuck behind that for a little while until I found an opportunity to nip past. Anyway, I ended up passing her, giving her a phone call and asking how she's getting on, charging, etc. And what I found was that Susan had stopped for just 8 minutes charging. So that's 8 minutes of charging, but she appeared to be physically delayed by about 15 minutes. So 8 minutes charging added about 20 miles of range for her. So it was only a splash and a dash, but it was a 15-minute difference, which meant I could, even though I was delayed with this slow traffic, I could then get past Susan. But because Lincolnshire doesn't have any dual carriageways on the routes we were going, the A17, the A52, she wasn't actually able to pass me for the whole of the rest of the journey. She was stuck in slower traffic. Now, 2 things because of that. One, I won the race because I got there 5 minutes ahead of her. So the Mini wins, and going slower wins. But what happened was, because she was going slower on the second half of the journey, her miles per kilowatt hour actually went up to, I think it's 4.6 miles per kilowatt hour. And that puts it in the territory of, she could have made it. She could have gone there without charging. So what we've learned is, if you're extremely good at estimating your miles per kilowatt hour and extremely good at judging what your traffic's going to be like and whether you're going to have any delays, etc., it probably is faster to go up the dual carriageways as fast as you can, get to the slower part of the journey, then slow down and get your miles per kilowatt hour up, so that you've got enough miles for the rest of the journey. That probably is the fastest way to do the journey we did. But there's a lot of what-ifs in there, and there's a lot of really fine-tuning. Can you make it or can't you make it? I was quite confident with my 5 miles per kilowatt hour, but I had a little bit of contingency. I had 20 miles contingency built into the Mini. So, in my opinion, the Mini wins for that journey, because it's better economically, so you can slow down and get there without charging, so that was comfortable. But also, if you had to charge, the splash and dash would be faster in the Mini, because it's a faster charging car. It charges at 50 kilowatts, where the Golf only charges about 36 kilowatts. So the Mini for the win for me, which is very, very odd, because when you set out, the Mini has the lowest range on the GOM. The Golf seems to have more range, and does have a bigger battery, and does appear to have more range. It's got more space in it as well. So, I mean, that's a big reason to take the car, because it's got more space. But for some odd reason, it still, on paper, looks like the Mini's the better car to take, even though it's got less range, and even though it's a smaller car. It's a weird one, but anyway, we thoroughly enjoyed our little race. I'm really sorry that I couldn't do any live videos and share with you earlier. I mean, that would have been the great way to do it. The crazy thing is, I filmed all 3 hours of my journey in the Mini, and all the telephone conversations, everything. I even filled in that 3 hours with all sorts of content and talking about everything from our new car that we've ordered to why I think we're doing it wrong, calculating CO2 for electric cars. I don't know, there's just topic after topic. All the videos that I'm thinking about releasing in the future, basically I blurted them all out along the way. So I'm tempted to edit up that entire length and put it out for those people that would like to go on a road trip and like to have me, Nigel, the EV puzzle, in the background while they're doing other things. I mean, 2.5 to 3 hours worth of video. That would be a record for me. I normally do long ones. Anyway, this I wanted to be a short video. It's only 7 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm doing well. So there's the update for you. I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you enjoyed the result as well. I'd like to do more races like that. I mean, it was quite fun, but it's a case of working out, not just doing it for the sake of it, but what can we try and learn? What can we try and achieve as a test from doing it? Maybe what we need to do next time is take the two cars, but drive identically on the different routes, setting off at the same time, and see what happens then. Maybe if the weather conditions were worse as well, to add a bit of jeopardy. Will we or won't we make it? And what will we make with the calculations? I don't know. You know, I don't like doing jeopardy videos. But anyway, great fun, and I would like to do some more like it. But I'd like to find a way of getting that content out to you sooner. It does seem like it's taken quite a while to get this result out. Thanks again for following. Thanks for watching and your patience to get this video. And Mini for the win! Bye for now. Just to finish off, for those people that like the stats, we arrived at the overnight accommodation, a lovely bed and breakfast called the Chestnuts, and plugged the two cars in, both on granny chargers. The Mini arrived with 19% battery left and 22 miles indicated range, so that's how the Mini finished up. The Golf, that arrived with 37 miles of indicated range, but have a look at that, 6.2 miles per kilowatt hour. So it reset and started again the miles per kilowatt hour, and hence maybe that 37 is a little bit high. The Mini finished with 5.1 miles per kilowatt hour. It didn't reset, so that's for the entire journey, which was 124 miles. But with Susan and the EGolf with 37 miles of indicated range and me with 22, just goes to show she didn't really need to stop for a charge. It's all about comfort. It's about contingency. It's about whether you might need it or might not need it. In the Mini, going slower, I just felt comfortable. In the EGolf, she felt she needed it, even though she didn't in the end. Thanks again for watching. See you again soon.